Oh, the calm before the storm.
Let's preview the season.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the on-season.
Let's go! We actually have to talk about
I'm too emotional to air
the
horn.
games now.
I'm so excited for it, you guys. We are here. Lakers play tonight, whatever. But tomorrow,
Season really starts tomorrow.
The Denver Nuggets are back. We had practice today. We're going to talk about that practice. I thought it was a very interesting practice, media availability. And then we're going to do some pre-season predictions. Predictions for the season.
We're barely getting them in at the buzzer.
Yeah, we're getting them at the very, very, very buzzer. But first, we're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. You can see that sign right there below above Nikola Jokic's head, and a slightly larger Cale Makar head.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about
I'm
that.
offended by it.
Shut
to be
up.
honest.
Yes, I ordered the wrong size.
It's your fault?
It's
Yeah.
Eric's fault?
I didn't know this was Eric's fault.
Wow!
I
Go do the
Eric,
Avs show.
do you
man.
like Jokic or not? Are you like? Did he do something? Like, what is it, man? I thought you liked Jokic.
Listen, you're not wrong, but sometimes when we talked about this, when you get a king size Snicker bar and all of the ratio
What?
of chocolate to nuts to nougat is
We
off.
have talked about
Where are we
this.
going with this? This is not
Like
what I
the,
expected.
it's a larger Kale head, but is it better?
You would know the
But is
anatomy
it
of a
better?
Snickers bar.
Is it
king
better?
Jokic's
size.
head is just the right
It's the
size.
perfect
It's so
size.
true. It's so true. Guys, look at the panel I got with me. I got the boyish charm, fresh cut, ready for the season. Spin
Yeah.
a boat.
Got a lot of crap for my haircut yesterday on DSR. I asked my hairdresser, I said, I like to be able to part to both sides. And he said, word. And he just gave me a middle part.
We call that a butt cut.
That
You-
is,
you
technically,
part
he
from
answered
both
it right.
sides?
He
Yes.
parted it both sides.
Yeah, well, I can go right to left or left
You
to
want
right.
the option.
There's
I
a
want the
psychology.
option. Like,
You
give me
guys
the
know this?
Moses.
There's a psychology to that the left part versus the right part. There's like
What is it?
In movies? I'm telling you, in movies, if you'll notice, it's always one way for the good guy and the other way for the bad guy. Look it up. So sometimes evil vote is here. I'm gonna have to
That's
figure out
all right.
which one.
I'm
it
going to
is.
keep track of this
He
myself.
can go back and forth from good to evil.
Over here, the man with the wind in his hair, Harrison Wind.
My haircut's tomorrow.
Mine too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Same place?
Where do you get your haircut?
Frank's Gentleman's Salon.
Yeah, different for sure. Yeah.
Shout out to the gentleman out
Do you get like a lap dance while they do that?
They do.
Is that a topless? Topless haircut
They
place?
give
Man,
you-
what is
they
this
give
place?
you a massage.
Oh, sitting on a gold
hot
mine over
towel.
here.
Yeah.
Gotta find this place.
Holy smokes.
Gentleman's salon.
Wow. Full service. What do we have over here, Eric?
I noticed that not only our beloved Brendan Vogt and Harrison Wind tomorrow got their haircut, but another member of the Nuggets universe got a haircut, Nikola Jokic.
Did he?
Yeah, he's slightly more
Oh,
important
yes,
member.
dude. Haircut Jokic is on.
Yeah.
But it's
It's
not
the
like the
on-season.
high and tight Jokic. Like he does.
Oh, it's high and
different-
tight.
I thought it was high end.
It was pretty tight
Man, I
and
am
high.
I'm the least observant person on earth with these.
Well, I
things.
could have told you
missed
that.
it. Yeah,
I
you
could have already told you
that.
that.
We did have practice today. I didn't notice his hair, but I did notice the things.
What
he
the
had to
H?
say.
How did you not notice his hair?
How
We
can
were
you-
standing 2
6
feet away
inches.
from
Guys,
him.
How can you be
I'm
the eyes and ears of Nuggets Nation
Yeah.
with this level
I'm
of
so
focus?
locked in, man. I'm so locked
That's
in
what it
on,
is.
on
You're
the
locked
important
out.
things. Win, why don't you walk us through your notes today? Because just to give you, Michael Malone got the day off, which is funny to me. Why do you need it off? Whatever. But we did talk to Jamal Murray and Michael Porter and Nikola Jokic today, and the two stars of the team, and I thought it was great. So walk us through.
Well, the first takeaway I have from practice is the vibes. The vibes were immaculate at practice
They
today.
really were, man.
Son-
They've
with
been
the face,
immaculate
baby.
for the last couple days.
They really were.
They were a 10 out of 10. Everybody's in a good mood. And this has been the case the last week, I'd say. Ever since training camp ended, where the vibes were still good. But I feel like ever since training camp ended at practice, the vibes have been awesome. Everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's a little chipper. Everybody's excited for the season.
I would agree with this, man. Like, I mean, we get Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. We know that Jokic has been grumpy or grouchy or whatever. Jamal hasn't always been like the most outgoing, but I got to give Jamal credit. Every single availability he has done this year, he has done them, I thought, extremely well and just, respectfully, which I know this is the thing that mostly we care about, but to me it does hint at a sign of maturation for him. Like, it just, I was very impressed with Jamal today and his approach.
Yeah. But it was even like we walk in and they're doing a half-court competition.
That's right.
For the WWE belt, which they brought back this year. Peyton Watson won.
What?
Yeah.
3-point shooting?
You can go see the
He won the free
shots
throw
on our
shooting
Twitter.
contest a couple weeks ago or a week
Dude, what
ago,
do you-
and he just won the
Well,
half
Christian
court
Brown, you wouldn't believe
shooting
this, actually.
contest.
He also made one, but then Peyton Watson beat him. So
In the shootout.
Christian Brown originally was
Hold
money
on.
from Browntown.
This is like Every
Kale,
time I think I
I'm gonna
know
send you a
something about the
picture.
Nuggets, it's like, man, these starters are unbeatable. The second unit beats them every
At
practice.
half court shooting, you
I'm
think
like,
it's an
I'm like
important indicator?
Peyton Watson, Christian Brown. They're not really the shooters on the team. They win every 3-point confrontation. What is this?
Them and Jack.
Jack White, yeah, like,
Yeah, and Jack
absolutely
White.
deadly from
Yeah. Yeah.
deep.
So the vibes were great. That was my first note. We talked to Jamal Murray, who's good to go for the opener tomorrow. He's playing. He's excited. He wanted to play in that last preseason game in Golden State. Ultimately, he and the team decided to rest the hamstring, but he said he's good to go. He feels rested. The hamstring feels good. I think he's definitely going to be on a minute restriction. Definitely.
What do you think that minute restriction will be? What would you guess?
I'm going to
How
guess
many minutes does he play?
25.
That's a lot of minutes. 25 minutes to me is like, that's a lot of minutes.
I
I'll
was
go
gonna
lower.
say
I'll take the under.
I was going to say 20 to 25 is my prediction.
I'll say he plays 22 minutes or 21 minutes. I think that's what he plays tomorrow. I mean, we'll find out.
But just real quick, I thought he was very emphatic that he's good to go today. He answered the question in every which way. It's good.
Emphatic, but also almost sarcastic about it, which I find funny. Like, again, we don't know what it's like to be a player.
Yeah.
Players don't know what it's like to be a fan or media. And so when somebody was asking, like, yeah, but are you good to go? Like, we know you sat out earlier. And he's like, guys, I'm good. I'm
Right.
good. It's
Yeah.
like, well, you missed a week and a half
We
of
don't know
training
that,
camp, man.
man.
Like,
You just missed 18 months and then you got another injury. Like,
Right.
it's a valid question.
for our perspective, it's
Right.
like, are you good or not?
But from his perspective, it's like, you guys have been asking me about my injury every time I've talked to you, you know?
Yeah.
Every single
So
question.
true. Yeah.
But I even think this hamstring injury was like more. That's why I said Friday. I'm almost certain he could have played even with no risk,
sure.
and they were just
Can
like,
we-
whatever.
Kale, can you show the picture really quick? I just want to. Peyton Watson really, really enjoyed winning that competition. And
What did
What
you-
is this picture?
no. Oh, you don't have it? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He posed for me. Look
He
at the-
posed for
look
you?
at the
Hell
pose,
yeah.
dude. Look
Look
at
at
that
this.
mug.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, like,
said-
what can Peyton Watson win this year? Like a G League championship, the Nuggets half-court shooting competition.
Come on,
Dude, there's
man.
one-
You're trying
This
to
is
lower
big
my
for
man.
him. I
You're
said,
lowering
this
my
is
man right
big.
when he gets
There's
the
one
belt.
word. There's one word to describe this photo. Cold.
Cold.
Oh,
photo
that's
is
so
cold.
cold. That's so cold.
Yeah.
Icy. Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, what else? Give us some more details.
We talked to Nikola Jokic.
That was it from Jamal.
Yeah. Did you have anything else from Jamal?
I was
Alright.
taking pictures. Yeah.
I was planning the show, so
I wasn't there at all.
Nikola Jokic
What does Dev think?
was also in a great mood today. Like, he kept it super light. He cut Jamal off
Did do
during
that.
the end of his media availability and was like, "You're done. It's my turn." He walked into the scrum with an ice pack on his right wrist. That was notable. Pretty big ice pack, I thought. But he's good to go also for Wednesday. I don't think he's going to be on a minute restriction. But he'll be also playing tomorrow night in the opener in Utah.
yeah. Me and Singer, I think a bunch of us were joking at the end that, you know, a player will hide a real injury. They're almost not like, you know. Yoke comes out today with a giant wrap, and it was almost like he was hamming it up. Like he was kind of like, you guys see my wrist? Look at this, man. Look at this bandage I have, huh?
And I don't know if he owes this to us, to be clear, but it is tough to figure out because, like, his line right now is, it's the new trend when he has a wrist wrap
Right.
on. But it's like, hey, man, you're the back-to-back MVP. Like, are you hurt?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're not getting a clear answer. He's gonna play, but it's
Well, it's
just
obviously bothering him.
it's bothering him.
It is and it isn't, though. Like, also, when we walked into the gym, what was he doing? Shooting jumpers? It's
No,
actually funny. Funny little note. Everybody at the three-point line shooting the half-quarter. Jokic is shooting baseline jumpers by himself. That's kind of funny.
I don't have time for this.
Yeah,
brother.
I do not take
Jokic
this
is
shot.
the youngest, like, I'm too old for these kids guys in the history of the NBA. He's 27, and he's like, man, these kids. These kids.
He just
So
gets
true.
probably so annoyed by the rookies.
Hanging out with Jeff
These
and DeAndre.
fucking guys, man, they're so excited for practice.
Yeah, but it's like when Kyrie Irving comes off the court and then you see the two largest ice packs on his knees every game.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right,
it's
right.
like,
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
true.
really-
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Agree to disagree.
I
I
think,
mean, I
think
I
Jokic
agree
is
that it-
hamming it up a little.
I
just to,
agree
like,
that it probably feels sore, but it's not like injury. It's like you just have to bring down the swelling. It's not like
Yeah.
injury, you know.
Yeah.
What else? Keep going.
Jokic was also talking about the preseason. This was the quote I thought stood out. He said, "We're playing for each other, but we don't know the spacing yet." And I'll pair that with a quote he had about KCP.
Oh, I love this. I'm so glad.
And
you
this is
brought it
my
up.
favorite quote of the whole day. I think we've gotten a pretty good idea that Jokic really likes
I
KCP in
agree.
Denver. And I think we learned specifically why today. He said KCP's the guy who's been in the right spot every time. I don't know how. Nobody is telling him, but he has a good feel for the game, a good feel for space.
That's such an encouraging quote to me.
Yep.
Of all the players, really, just to be like, hey, here's a guy that naturally gets how to play basketball. And again, KCP's a veteran. I honestly think that there's only like 3 types of players that are in the NBA. There's the veterans who are just good. There's the young prospects who aren't, that you're hoping for. Like KCP is a guy that the reason he's in his 10th year or whatever it is because he knows how to play the game. So I think these things make a big difference.
It's arguably the top role for him with the offense with the starters too is just know where to beat.
Yeah.
Even more than make the shots, right? I don't want to say don't get in the way because he's a better player than that, but that he has a firm understanding of it, and coming from Yoke, it's the highest compliment.
Yeah. By the way, Jamal Murray did say that KCP sometimes looks over and thinks it's Barton because he's wearing the same number and has a headband.
Dude, I was loving that.
That is funny. So
Also wearing number 5.
Someone's going to send us a
Same
tweet in the
height.
middle of the season. KCP's 1 for 8.
Barton out there. So anyway, KCP appears to have the early Jokic stamp of approval, which is meaningful.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, we were saying that he just feels like the perfect piece. Like he is, what everything that Barton brought that was positive would also be the negative. Is like he was the guy that you could count on to initiate offense when nothing was there. But it's kind of like you don't really want that often with Nikola Jokic. You want the guy that just is in the right place, the complementary piece, the guy that hopefully will knock down the open shots, and like you just don't really have to worry about him going like cowboy mode.
Right.
Cowboy mode.
Yeah.
I loved it. Oh, cowboy.
What's that?
Don't go cowboy mode.
I think everybody was thinking that.
Oh man! Speaking of which, somebody in the comments had a great from yesterday when we were talking about Bruce Brown nicknames that I just loved. Bruce Brown.
I saw that too.
Yeah,
It
I've
does-
seen that the last couple shows.
Kind of
yeah.
feels
It is
appropriate.
good, but that's scary.
Yeah,
He's locked
yeah.
down.
I'm just saying.
It's funny, but it can't.
He's locked
It
down.
can't
dude.
be.
It can't be
All right.
applied to
Lockdown
somebody,
Bruce
yeah.
Brown is perfect.
Lockdown Bruce
Lockdown
Brown. is
Brown,
good.
I think, is-
Lockdown Brown, dude.
Lockdown
But we just call him
Brown.
Lockdown.
Lockdown. All right. we
Lockdown.
shortened
Lockdown
it.
is great, dude.
Okay.
All right.
All right. But my my take that I had on Jokic after hearing that quote is, and he was talking about this today a little bit. People were asking him like, "Oh, you excited for the season?" And he was like, yeah, sure. And it's your 8th season, like blah blah blah. And he's like, it's whatever. I just think Jokic is over the bullshit this season when it comes to guys he's playing with not knowing how to play within the Nugget system.
Of
Like
course.
if you this season don't know the spacing, if you don't know the plays, if you don't know how to move within the Nuggets offense, I don't think he's going to put up with it this year.
Yeah,
no.
And him saying
Man.
that about KCP was just like, to me, him being like, KCP gets it.
Yep.
Like KCP, he hasn't even been here for 4 months. He hasn't even played a game for us, but he's in the right spot every single time. I don't know if Jokic is going to put up with the same type of bullshit he did in years past in regards to that type of stuff.
I think you're picking up on the exact right thing. I have a slightly different tweak to your take, though. I think you're picking up on the exact thing of what's Jokic going through right now. We're always trying to guess what's he thinking, what's he feeling. I do think it's a lot of that. I'm in year 8. This stuff is easy for me even in year 1, but in year 8, it's like it's like we all have to go through orientation again. And I've been through orientation 8 times. Why am I here for orientation? But so I think he does sort of have. That's part of why this part of the season is kind of rough for him. But what I will say is I think he has a better appreciation. This is my opinion. This is me talking because he was asked specifically about the players or this or that. And he kind of is like, but I have to understand for me it's easy. And for some of these guys it's a process or whatever. That was more or less what he was saying. And the reason I bring that up is I agree with you that he's annoyed, but I think he is accepting of the fact that other guys aren't. Now, is he going to be accepting all year? Absolutely not. But I just think that what he's going through to me appears to be this like, this is a necessary evil I have to go through right now where I'm holding everyone's hand to come along. And like, he probably doesn't disguise his mood or how he's feeling about that very well, but I think he's at least accepting of it. That's my interpretation.
No, that's an interesting thought. I mean, just skip me. Go ahead.
Good point, though.
Maybe we're back.
Point.
That's how you started. You're like, oh, if I could,
Yeah.
go to
Yeah. You know what? I think Eric has a good follow-up.
I actually wasn't listening. So
Anyway,
Or sending an email or something.
anyway, it's very notable, and I think you're right about the KCP part. I do definitely think that there's an appreciation for the guys
Yeah.
who are like ready to go.
Because he did say something today like, yeah, like I've been in the system for 8 years. Like it's easy for me.
Right. But
I know all the little things to do. I know how to operate.
That's it. And I just remember what I was going to say. The reason he is so much better than everyone else, I mean, there's all the skill and all of that, but it's this thing, right, that's so intrinsic to him. And so maybe that's an evolution in him understanding precisely what makes him great is that it's so much harder for everyone else to figure this stuff out.
Right.
Yeah.
What else from practice?
That's all the big notes I've got from practice.
So I will say my overarching take here is that I am just more confident in this moment than I have been at any other time in this Nuggets era. And I don't think it's particularly close. We've had years where we've been excited about the team. There's a lot of upside,
What
this or that.
could do.
What they could do or what have you. This one, to me, it feels like it has the highest median outcome. There were years where like, man, the upside of this team is really good.
Yep.
Like they could surprise some
That's a great
people.
way to put it.
This is the year where I'm like, the middle position for me is that this team is really, really good. I mean, health is a big question mark, but the vibes are all good. I think the team has the right mentality. I think the key players have the right mentality. And now it's just and they also seem to understand that this is going to be a process, but that they're going to try to win along through that process. And I just, going into this season, I haven't felt this way, I don't think, where I'm like, weirdly confident, not just that they can be good, but that they will be good.
We've turned the corner from hopeful to confident.
Yeah.
Like this is like every year it's like, man, they can make a little noise. This is going to be interesting. To like now it's like, we're here. Like this is the championship window officially. Like we jumped the line a little bit earlier when we went to the Western Conference Finals sooner than we probably should have.
We surprised some people.
That was absolute surprise. And then, obviously we knew what we were working with going into the last couple seasons without Jamal Murray. We knew that there was a cap on what we could do. And now it's like finally we're to this place where it, like all of the faith feels as though it's going to be rewarded. It not necessarily, I mean, hopefully with internal, but like we're just seeing what it looks like to follow a team long form and go through the ebbs and flows and like watch things come together. Now it's like on paper, it's like team building takes a long time, and it's like we're finally to the place where you have like all of the right pieces seemingly.
Don't skip steps, but they took the last step.
Exactly.
It's the natural next step
Yeah.
to
Yes.
get to the point
It's
where
step
we're at
up
right
time.
now.
Oh, look at that, Eric.
Yeah.
Your confidence of the same vote?
About the Nuggets? Yeah.
I'm just saying, but not even just about I mean, like, we're confident in the talent, but I'm saying everything, all the indicators we're seeing.
It's the other stuff. And I like even the honesty about what isn't there yet. It gives me a lot of confidence about the self-critiquing, the self-scouting, particularly coming from players like KCP, who said, he's seen a championship and he says they're doing championship stuff, but this isn't there yet, particularly the communication. What they know needs to be better, not to be good enough, but the very best version of themselves seems to be the top to bottom goal of the org. And so, yeah, man, Jamal said it today. They have everything they need. And I don't just mean in terms of the roster's good enough to compete. The right kind of guys, the right kind of vets, the right mixture of guys who will talk, guys who keep it real and all that. So it's a culmination, and even if it doesn't result in a title, it doesn't mean what we're picking up on right now isn't there.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we're going to get into some predictions, actual predictions, over-unders. You might want to open up your DraftKings Sportsbook app. Maybe you throw some bets on.
Dude, I cannot wait. I'm so happy basketball season's here. I can't make a nickel on betting on the NFL.
Yeah, it's because you keep betting on the Broncos.
Have you tried
you want to
Broncos
bet on the
under?
Broncos, yeah, and it's just like,
I know,
what are
but
we
now I'm going to
doing?
bet on the Nuggets. Like, listen, I like.
Yeah, you don't want to just bet.
Betting for me is like I don't ever bet just to bet. Like, I don't turn on some game and just start betting. It's always a nice compendium to a game I'm watching
Compendium.
already.
Oh,
And
that's
then,
the word of the day.
I like
Wow,
to.
it is such a compendium. I like
in my head, I like to see if I can imagine the script that the game will follow and then make
Right.
money if I do.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've not been able to do that one time with the Broncos.
Funny, they all go to the exact script I expect.
Well, you're probably rich then. God damn it.
Oh boy.
I don't.
By the way, I
I don't
wanna
really
just
know
make
what
a point.
compendium means. What does that mean?
It's in addition. It's like you have your textbook, and then you have the compendium, which gives more information.
Vocab code.
Oh, wow.
Sorry,
Okay,
guys.
so-
Sorry.
Can I actually, when I
Wow.
rant, can I be a really annoying for a second? I was 6 weeks ago 7 weeks ago. Shut up, RG. It was 6 or 7 weeks ago that people were posting on Twitter. Who would you rather build your team around at this very moment?
Oh, boy.
Nikola Jokic or
Oh,
Russell Wilson. This was. I'm telling you, people don't understand how this town, like with the media, you just say the dumbest Bronco shit and people will like be like, you're a person of authority, clearly. Russell Wilson or Nikola Jokic, who's the better backbone of your team?
We can't do that. We can't tear Denver down.
I'm not tearing Denver down. I'm tearing down this idea of like, come on, guys, what are we doing?
By the way, compendium, a collection of concise but detailed information about a particular subject, especially in a book or other publication. Smartest man alive.
All right, I think
I'd
you're
rather
now
have
your reference work.
Because
I
of
think.
leadership.
He's won.
Because he's proven he
Well,
can
he's a
do
winner,
it.
Adam.
He
He's
can
a winner.
prove it.
He's a winner.
Man.
But now he
Football.
sucks. So
Pretty spicy.
pick up some Broncos Country Ale from Breckenridge Brewery. Breck Brew is the official beer of DNVR. If you don't know where to pick up Broncos Country,
Is this a Broncos country read? Oh boy.
Let's go! Let's ride! Gotta crush some.
oh man, check out the Breck Brew beer locator. It will
Russell
tell you
Wilson's-
to tell you where to get Broncos Country Ale wherever you are. You can find that at breckbrew.com. Breckenridge Brewery is the official beer of DNVR. Pick up some Broncos Country Ale today. DraftKings Sportsbook, guys. The NBA is back. Opening night tonight. The Nuggets play tomorrow. The wait is over. We're back. So tip off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet, get $200 in free bets if your team wins. In addition, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Make sure to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Make any $5 bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code DNVR. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
All right, let's get into it, guys. We're gonna ask for every question. I've got an over/under. That's why we have our cards here, and I also
that's
have
nice.
just a what do you need to see from them. But the first thing I want to ask, Eric, I'll start with you.
Sure.
Who do you feel on the Denver Nuggets roster you are higher on than everyone else? Like Eric is
whole
higher on this
roster.
person than every other person
Every
whole
on
player.
this panel. The
This is
whole
tough.
roster? Yeah, he's like, what do you mean?
This is tough. This is tough.
Who's it gonna be?
As you know, I'm exquisitely high on Bones.
But
I feel like
everybody's high on
let me finish my sentence, please.
Yeah, go for it.
Everyone's very high on Bones. I feel like I'm a little higher. I believe I am.
My heart of hearts.
Yeah, in my heart. Nikola Jokic.
Oh, stop.
No chance, I promise.
You can't claim that one.
I know.
Serbia's in the chat.
I think.
yeah, NBA B-ball Serbia is in the chat.
I think it's Jamal Murray. Honestly, I think it's Jamal Murray.
Really?
That's a good one.
Yeah, because I don't hear a lot of
really
people
heard that
talking
from
about
you.
him. He's sort of because he hasn't played the last couple games, which have been like so transcendent. I feel like an MPJ is going to be dropped by Adam or maybe Vogt, whatever. But I just think that I just think we're not fully absorbing or like realizing what it's going to be like to have Jamal Murray back.
Okay. So
Okay.
really, I
Good
just
answer.
haven't heard you really raving about Jamal.
You just did.
All right, that was
That's
nice
a
to
good
hear.
point.
I wouldn't have guessed that. Like if you told me who's Eric higher than anyone, I wouldn't have gone there. Let me go. To
I would have guessed Nikola Jokic.
I would have guessed.
I'm very
I thought
high.
Bones. I thought you were just.
Oh,
Gonna
of
go with-
course, Bones, but everyone's going to say Bones.
But I'm saying, are you expecting more out of Bones this year than? I
I-
mean, his expectations have really elevated. But are you
I'm
expecting
telling you,
even
I have
more?
already put my hard-earned money towards
Then your
what I
answer is
believe
Bones.
Bones' ceiling is. Bones, I truly believe will be the most improved
I
player. in the
actually
NBA.
do think Eric is the highest on Bones.
I do
in the
too.
world.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
have
you can
Bones.
have Bones.
You
No, it's
can
not,
have
I mean,
Bones.
he's not my guy. He's all of our guy, but like,
All of these guys are all of our guys.
but I mean, like like Harrison saw it first, and then, but like I feel like I have just seen it with goddamn Bones. He's
You've
my
really
guy,
seen it.
dude. He's my guy.
Eric sees it in his dreams.
I listen. I mean, he was here the other day. It was
That was
That was
yesterday.
yesterday.
And it, like I had to play it cool. I had to pretend
Less
like,
than 24
That was
hours
playing
ago.
it cool.
isn't that sad?
You were laughing. the
You
whole
playing
time.
it cool was laughing
There actually is-
hysterically
there
in this
actually is-
chair for
I'm
an
telling you,
hour.
yesterday's show was an all-timer, and it really is like a laugh track to the entire interview. And it's
Yeah.
just Eric.
I didn't think that'd be the funniest interview we've done in the history of DNVR, but it was
easily the funniest.
The most laughs in the history of DNVR.
I wanted to like hug him and stuff. Like, I didn't do any of that.
Thank God you did not. I really appreciate you not doing any of those things. All right, vote.
Can I take Porter? I know it's kind of like everyone knows he's good, but
Man, I'm gonna fight you for him.
I love that, man. I love that because frankly, I think there's a little too much. Like I get why,
Yeah.
but like, well, maybe he plays well, and then we can flip him into this, or
Yeah,
you know, I'm like, dude, no way. My preference
Yeah.
is he's the third best player in Denver.
You two
Maybe
guys are
third,
very
maybe
high on
second.
Porter, I would say.
I mean, he's just so good, and I think the thing that's lost in him because of the glaring question marks, health, defense, reasonable things to be concerned about. You lose sight of the fact that the talent. It's like there are good players and there are cannot miss players. Porter is a can't miss. He's a can't miss shooter.
Yeah.
So I just think, look, I don't know if he's ever going to be anyone's best player on a championship team, but he can damn well be the third best player on this championship team.
Always so tantalized by upside, and he's just like, you don't have to stare that hard to see the upside. You're like, man, that guy.
You look for 1 second,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
He's one of those P words, potential, as Andre Miller says. The weirdest way to say that.
Big P words.
That's what he.
He's one of the big P
when
words.
He was asked about Peyton Watson.
Potential.
That's how he put a pause. He's like,
when people talk to me about you guys, I'm like, they're kind of P words, to be honest. Like,
No,
just leave it.
Oh, he didn't just say P word. He said big P words.
One of those big P words. Let it sit for a second. We're like, oh hell, what the hell?
Potential.
Yeah,
Ah.
that's a good word.
All right, over here, Harrison. Who's your higher on everyone?
KCP.
oh yes, dude. That's
I
the
feel like
most Harrison pick I've ever heard.
People were so down.
That's a great Harrison.
He's gonna be so solid.
No, people were down on KCP after the first handful of preseason games.
Yeah, that's how people are.
Jersey number.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be down on him. I do think a big reason why is because of his jersey number and his headband and his height. But no, KCP is a great fit. He's going to shoot the ball ridiculously well from three this year. He's going to be knocked down from the corners. He's going to be really important defensively. He's going to be exactly as advertised. And I feel like people are down on him right now.
Yeah, all right, well, it's interesting to hear that you're high on him. I will say, man, like it's one of those things. Not that Yoke's the best GM in the world. I don't think that he
That's
necessarily
LeBron.
is. Well, but I mean, there is something to getting the Yoke stamp of approval that just is like, all right, you know.
Yeah.
We talk about foxhole guys. It doesn't matter who we think are. Yoke thinks like, hey, that's. I'm not saying he said he's a foxhole.
I mean,
I'm
he
going
did
to
wanna
align
play-
myself with Yoke.
He did want to play with Jermichael Green for the rest of his career.
That's so true. Well, guess who picked him up? The Golden State Warriors. So maybe there's something
Yeah,
there.
and he scored 20 points in 20 minutes in his first preseason game.
I think, yeah, for real. I think mine is
I know what I was gonna
probably Bruce Brown.
I knew it,
But I'm
yes.
going to
Yeah.
zig instead of him and say Aaron Gordon. I think it's probably Bruce Brown.
Oh, good pick, though.
But I'm going to go with AG just because I feel like he's the guy that just never gets discussed. In fact, what was it when we were all talking and then like somehow Gordon was the guy we all forgot to bring up or something? I think AG was sneaky great last year. I think he really is. Just seems I've loved everything he's had to say. You know, when he's spoken, I just feel like he kind of gets it, and not only gets it, man. Like I feel like Aaron Gordon is playing the exact role he most wants to play in life, and I think this is going to be a
in
great.
life, not just on Denver.
I mean, in basketball
Sure, as
life.
basketball
I'm sorry.
person.
I don't know.
I was
about
like,
his
oh,
life.
that's a really
I'm
bold-
just saying, like, if he could write his script, I think he'd be like, man, I'd be this guy on this team.
Right. He'd be playing this exact role
Right.
offensively and defensively
And-
on a championship contender.
and living in a warehouse that's
Right.
a basketball court. that's
Living in
also-
Denver where the laws are a certain way. Living in a
have-
warehouse with a basketball court.
Unlimited access to athletic greens. There's
Yeah.
so much you can do.
Is all right. Real quickly, then let's go really fast. We have to go fast here, but someone you're lower on than everyone else for the Nuggets.
Davon Reed.
Oh man, you're gonna take my answer. Okay.
I've never actually seen him to be this steadying kind of Mr. Reliable for. I see him as a tough shot maker, which is a really valuable skill, but he just ended up being different than I thought.
Yeah. Win.
Maybe Jamal. I'm lower than Eric on Jamal just because I think it's going to take time.
Me too.
Especially because he didn't have the preseason. And I think out of anybody, the preseason was most important for Jamal.
Yeah.
Because he just needed to play. And so his first, 4 regular season games are going to be like the the 3 preseason games that he missed.
Yeah.
You know, his first 3 games are going to be the 3 games that he missed.
Yeah,
So-
but then I'm talking full season, man. He's going to be dope.
Oh yeah, by the
then
midpoint of the season,
But this is
I
what
expect it to be
kind of
back.
I feel like your sentiment is a common one, where people are sort of like, I don't know, like what do we? He's getting hurt all the time. I just feel like when he comes back, we're gonna be like, oh my god, that's right. It's
Yeah.
Jamal,
Yeah.
man. Who am I lower on? MVP of Summer League, or of training camp.
DeAndre Jordan.
He was not the MVP of training camp.
What are you talking
That was-
about?
that was a
Adam said
crafty pick,
definitively.
though.
That was
a crafty
Adam's
pick.
vote. That's
saying
why
that's my vote.
he was
That
the
was
only
my
guy
vote.
who voted for him.
Hey, man.
Got 1 vote.
Michael Malone gave him some love. I think there's something
He
there.
got some tepid comments that I thought could be interpreted a certain way. No, I don't dislike him, but he's probably. You probably.
But the thing about being low on DeAndre is I think everyone's kind of low on him. So are you thinking it's going to be a problem?
I kind of don't think we're going to see a lot of him. Like, I think we're going to start off seeing him, and then I think it's like, I don't know. I just watch. There are things he does which are just undeniable. Like, he's a tall guy that can slam the
Rebounding.
ball. But he also, like, his touch is terrible. And, like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
he just
Terrible
he does a
passer.
lot. He does a lot of like really awkward things, especially for a team that's going to be looking to play with like such rhythm and process. Like, I imagine he could kind of gum up those works a little bit if you allow him to be out there. So I don't know how that's also a vote of confidence for our main man, Piano Man Najee. I'd like to see.
That is a good vote of confidence. I'm going to actually take Najee as the guy maybe a
Yeah.
little bit lower on. And it's not even that I'm lower on his skill set or anything. There's something weird about the fact that he's not in the rotation. So to me, I just look at that and I go, I'm no longer really thinking about Zeke in the equation that much. And I hope that I am again at some
It's
point.
because he's
soon.
not a center, man.
And they just don't have it
I
fit
know.
the spot.
I
for
feel
him.
bad for Zeke.
I do too.
He's not a center, and they're playing him at center.
I agree.
He's a power forward.
Yeah.
He's he's
Yeah.
a perfect 4 off the bench.
I don't see him taking Jeff Green's spot though. But
I don't.
We'll find
I don't.
out.
I
We'll
don't.
find
I
out.
know they're playing him at center because that's the position they're thinnest at behind Jokic, but he's not a center. He's just not. I feel for him.
Let's rattle off some over-unders here. Some over-unders. I'm going to start with Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray, 39% from the three-point line. He's only done it once in his career. How are we going here? I'm going to go, you know what?
Oh, I'm gonna go under.
I think it takes a year.
I'm going to go over. My thought process is I think he gets a little bit better shot selection this year. I do wonder if he gets a little bit more off ball than traditionally, and if that leads to a little bit better. Why are you low, bro?
I just think it's going to take a year. I mean, we're talking about what would be about career best shooting performance, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't have that this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, he's obviously been working on his shot a
Yep,
long time
exactly.
for the last 18 months. But still, it's 100% different when you
different.
get back in the game. And he even talked about it today. The speed for him, just the speed he's operating at,
Right.
is the one thing that he has realized that he still has a ways to go in. And he's just says he's operating at a different speed than everybody else. And I mean, that throws off your shot, I think. So
Yeah. For me, I just think he's probably going to rely less on his driving. He's
Yeah,
probably gonna
I agree with
focus
that.
more on his shooting, and he's been focusing on shooting quite a bit. I imagine his shot, like Jamal Murray's always someone that you think shoots much higher percentage than he does.
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of that is just him trying to do a lot of things. If he really just focuses on being an outside shooter, I think he can be deadly.
And I kind of think he'll be there eventually.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it'll be game one. He might try to play the old Jamal way. But I do think there'll be something, too. Like, hey, an easy way to ramp back up is to be off ball a little bit more because this
Yeah.
team can score without me on ball. So we'll see if he gets there. All right, I got one for you guys. Last year, Nikola Jokic had 19 triple-doubles. I'm going to set it at 25 triple-doubles.
25.
25?
You're going to add 6 triple-doubles.
I'll go under.
Going over. You're going over, too. Look, man, he's gotten assists in this preseason, man.
Sure has.
He's racked
Only
up
needs
assists.
10 points to get a triple double.
The Nuggets are going to be too good, potentially.
I kind of think that too. I think
So
they're-
you guys are taking a low because the minutes might be too low on the good games, like when he's playing really well.
yeah.
And I think he'll get more. I don't know if he'll get that many more.
You think?
Well, dude, to me, it's like he's now that he's come off the cross, like we have scientific evidence, he's coming down off the cross. Anna told us, and so now it's going to be
He's a man of the
he's
people.
going to be reliant more on his teammates, which that's how you get a triple double. You get assists, and rebounds are never an issue for Nikola Jokic. Anytime he missed a triple double, it was always assist based.
Yeah.
And so I feel like his assists are going to go through the roof. And again, he only has to score 10 points a game. So
That might be the toughest.
Look at I like the way Steve
kidding.
put it there.
Of course.
Over 19, under 25.
Yeah,
probably.
could be good. What I like, so if we go back 3 years, 13, 16, 19 for Jokic. So on pace for 22
Oh, wow.
this year. We'll see. Maybe I sent that one a little bit too high. Michael Porter Jr., 3 threes per 36 minutes. Now, I know this is going to be a little math for you guys.
Oh, analytics.
I know. 3 threes per 3 minutes. In 2021, the last full year he was healthy, he was at 3.2 per 36 minutes. But that was a really high number, and he made 45% of them. So 3 threes per 36 minutes. That's like 2.5 a game he's probably making.
That's an easy one.
I'll do it. I'll go over.
All
man.
of his
I'm
shots
over.
are going to be threes.
and they're all going to
Most
go
of
in.
them. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait for this guy.
That's
next
made.
season.
Those are made threes, by the way. Like Steph is somewhere around 5. You know, like 4.5, 5. I mean, but he's an outlier. 3 per 36 minutes. There's not that many guys that do it, and you have to really be focused on your 3-point shot, meaning getting high volume of them.
I think he is.
Okay, well,
We can check that
He's
box.
very
I think.
focused on the 3.
I'll tell you this. The more I sit and think about it, and I don't feel like super confident about it, but the more I think about it, the more I just think Michael Porter's going to have a big year. I think he's going to
For
have
sure.
a really, really big year.
It's all. Only question with him, again, always, forever, is health. That's it.
And defense.
Yeah, but even in the
that's just
regular
late-
season, you're out
Yeah,
there.
that's late. That's late game stuff, maybe. But that's, like, it's just if he's healthy, we've already seen it. Like the preseason, it's just like once one goes in, you're like, pfft,
Would you
all
be
right.
more surprised if I told you Michael Porter averaged 23 plus points per game or 15 points per game?
23.
23 would be more surprising.
Yeah.
15 is really low. He averaged 20 last time he played.
But there's just so many mouths now on this team, like, and I just see him as more of a specialist than a focus.
I know, man, but I feel like the result of so many different actions can just be, oh, look, Mike's open.
Play along in the chat, by the
Or
way, on
like-
on
or
all
like
of these questions.
Mike
I'm curious
touches,
what
so
the
he's
chat
shooting.
Or
thinks.
he should get in rebound
23
position.
or 15, what would be more surprising, Vogt?
15.
I agree.
I'll say 23.
All right. I mean,
Yeah,
I just
I'm
don't.
with you on
I-
that.
I think there's a chance that we get to like the first 10 games of the season and he's averaging 25, and we're just kind of like, wait, he's averaging 25? That was easy, and he only has a high of 31 and a
But
low
it's
of
just-
20.
I mean, this is different, but like we saw a preseason game where it wasn't falling for him, and there was just then it's just nothing. I just feel like we're gonna, and we've seen now 2 where it's been full feast.
Yeah.
We saw I know we're gonna get feast and famine as we
We
do
are
with every shooter.
I think we are too. And we're also going to get Porter quarters.
Yes, we are, and they're gonna
And
be
then
delicious.
quarters where he doesn't touch the ball.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's what happened 2 years ago.
The only thing is, I think
Those are Mike minutes.
With the health comes the other stuff too. Like I think it almost gets ruled out the extent to which Michael can, and we've seen him get better at things because the rug gets pulled out from under him.
Yeah.
But if he can stay on the floor, I think he can. I don't think he's going to be a stalwart, but I think he can get better.
I also, is there a chance that, Murray's slow coming back, meaning his minutes and also his pace and all those things he's talking about, is there a chance that just like the safer option early on is Porter, meaning playing through him, so you're calling his number more, Yoke's going to him more, and then it's hard almost to segue out of that. Like as Murray gets back, that you're like, I'm just so comfortable because this is working and we just keep doing this. I could see a scenario where you get there. These are like the embarrassment of riches, where you're like, it might be hard
Right.
if you're winning every game
I love
to
that.
go back
Yeah.
to Murray.
We do this every time. We're like,
We do.
Well, Jokic, does he? I mean, does he want to score? He doesn't have to. I mean, everyone's gonna score. So.
I think it's a valid point because a storyline of the last couple games of the preseason was, to me, Nikola Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. developing chemistry. They got to play a lot of minutes together in the preseason. Jamal didn't. So I just think them two playing the minutes together that they did in the preseason, working out some things. I think they're way more on the same page now than they were before the preseason started.
And the record is good when it's them two without Murray. I mean, it just is. So we'll see what happens. Aaron Gordon. I love this one. It's such a weird number. 61% from 2. Last 2 seasons, both seasons, he was right at 60%, 60 to 60 and a half.
Easy.
So 61% from 2.
Gotta go.
Easiest
From
one.
Gotta go
dunk.
high.
How is it? First of all, those were his 2 most efficient years from
Right.
2 were the
Yeah.
last 2. So you guys think he's going to have an even more efficient year this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Aaron Gordon, he's figured out how to play basketball over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't playing like real NBA basketball, or he was, but he wasn't playing the right kind of basketball in Orlando. Now he's actually playing winning basketball, and
Sure.
it's easy, and it's going to be even easier for him this season.
Yeah, again, like just small sample size and not that reliable, but seeing so far in the preseason, just him just getting buckets at the rim, dunking, cutting, rebounding. Like he's not taking a bunch of outside shots like he was. I mean, and I hope that keeps up because that's what his game should be, you know. And
Right.
so I think for sure it's going to be up.
He's definitely going to have the best chance of his career to go over that number. He's going to have numerous easy looks.
All right, let's take a break on the other side. Let's go around the association. Let's do some over-unders, including the Denver Nuggets.
Oh,
Guys, our Serbia documentary, it's coming soon.
Coming together.
And it is premiering on Ivaka.
Vote, you saw a couple
TV.
chapters of this. I mean, early returns.
Love it, love it. I
No
think
pressure.
I think
Not
if
a
you not for me, but get a vodka. No, I'm just kidding. I think if you enjoyed the vlogs and what we did our best to provide in terms of you're with us, you're on the ground with us, and the way we would do it, it just feels like a fleshed out long form version of that. A little different, of course, some different notes, but I think if you really love those vlogs, you're gonna like seeing it's that door cracked wide open. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait for it. It's going to be awesome. But the only way you can see it initially is on Ivaka TV. So get set up with Ivaka TV so you're good to go for the Serbia doc, so you're good to go for Nugget season. Go to Ivaka.tv. Sign up for just $25 a month plus a $5 receiver fee. No contracts, no hidden fees with Ivaka. You get Nuggets games, you get Altitude Sports, you get AT&T Sportsnet with the Rockies, you get other national and entertainment channels as well. You also get the DNVR channel, and you can watch the Serbia documentary when it premieres.
yes, you can actually watch all Denver sports.
Yes. What
We've
a
actually had,
concept.
you know what's funny? I've seen a lot of people that have switched over because they'll tag us and say, hey, thanks for this. And they're like, watching these games in HD is so great. And you like forget that people have been watching them on
Right.
Like,
That's a good point.
People that are always like, I'll just stream for free. I'm like, great. You're going to have to deal with all the little pop-ups and it
dude,
crashes. I'm like, guys, this sucks, man. Like,
This company was nearly torn apart at its very seams when that first came up, and there was the younger contingent that were like, "Why would you?"
Yeah,
try
streaming's no big
Yeah,
deal.
and
It's
I'm-
like,
and
no,
I'm-
it sucks.
It
man.
always
like
sucks.
sucks. It crashes. It's
you're 3
garbage,
minutes
like-
behind
You
on
have
Twitter.
viruses on your computer.
Right.
Even if you have a Mac, you still have viruses. Trust
Yeah,
me.
dude, sometimes
Go looking. They're there.
sometimes free is much more expensive.
Oh.
Wise man. Wisdom Co.
Yes,
Vocab
absolutely.
Co.
Also, guys, if you are buying tickets to any sporting events, any concerts, any shows, use the Game Time app. More specifically, use the Game Time link in our description right below us here on YouTube. It's also in the podcast description if you're listening to this show there. The Game Time app, it's got these last-minute price drops. It's got great deals on tickets. Don't mess around going through all those different third-party websites trying to find what has the lowest price. Use the Game Time app. Use our specific link in the description on YouTube and on the podcast. Game Time, it's going to be your spot for any tickets you buy, sporting events, concert shows. Download the Game Time app.
Oh man!
All right.
$15
for opening night.
$15
For
for
Nuggets?
opening night, man. I'm
Yes.
telling you, use that Game
Oh,
Time
I
app.
gotta
Why
throw
not
out
go?
I gotta throw out a DraftKings pick of the week while I'm here.
Oh, well, very glad of you. Can you do it while we do these over-unders?
Yeah,
Pick
sure.
one of the over-unders and make it your
Sure.
DraftKings. I'll tell you this. We also have our party bus, guys, that is on Saturday. You can go ahead and pull that up, Kale. 2 weeks from Saturday, November 5th. But you only have till this Saturday to buy your tickets. So please, if you're considering going to that game, come with us. Hop on the bus, come to the bar.
Yes.
It's always great. We hang out before the game and we talk Nuggets. We ride together. We sit together and watch the game. You want to watch a game with us? We're going to sit there with you and watch the game, and then we're going to ride back. You can watch the post-game show, have a little food, have a little drinks, and then afterwards, we're going to bask in the glory of the Nuggets' undefeated season.
The biggest vibes are immaculate nights of the season.
For sure.
Are the
Against the
takeovers.
Spurs.
Are the takeovers for sure. And then lastly, want to tell you guys, want to watch the game tomorrow? I know a place that's showing it. The DNVR Bar. We kick things off tomorrow. I hope this place is packed and ready to go. If you don't have plans, come on out here. Brand new food. What is the burger that's the double patty burger we have?
It's the Forge Burger.
The Forge Burger. I'm telling you, it's the best burger we've ever had. And then we've got a bunch of other stuff, maybe even a new menu item coming soon. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Can't wait for
I'm not gonna tell
that.
you
I
what.
know it's going to be my go-to also.
Oh my God, it's so good. I was trying to get him to pick it. All right, let's go around the association here, shall we, guys? Let's go around the association. I want to look at some over-unders. Oh, man, that graphic. Are we done with that, Joe?
Oh, it's been a while since
it looks
I've seen
good.
it. It's more beautiful than I remember.
All right. Around the association.
Can you just make a new graphic? Or
Lakers,
Yeah,
40
Kale, update that graphic. Add a period, please.
Lakers, 45 and a half. 45 and a half wins.
Oh, I cannot wait to
This
do
is going to be my DraftKings Sportsbook
Yeah.
pick of the
This
week.
is it?
Lock
And
it
I'm
in.
going under.
I'm going
Lock
under
it
two.
in.
I'm going in under
The
two. I'm only going under because of the reverse devil. Usually I'd be afraid I'd be like some dumb thing's going to happen. You know what? Maybe not this year.
You know what dumb thing is going to happen? The starting lineup the Lakers roll out.
Yeah.
That is a dumb thing.
Yeah, you're
Man,
gonna
it'd be
fine.
so great tonight. I kind of hate the Clippers too, but
Me
it would
too.
be so nice if the
I'm
Clippers
telling you, this is gonna
just
creep in
smack
all
the hell like a
season.
35-point loss for the Lakers and everybody, and it's like the realization of like, do they suck? That'd be very great. It'd be very great.
Do they suck? Yeah.
And then all the reports. Have you seen these reports about like privately Lakers brass uncertain if Anthony Davis is cornerstone material? It's just like we only need to start like 2 and 4 before we get those reports.
I actually ate that report for breakfast this
For-
morning.
is
I
that what you had?
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice and
wow.
healthy, balanced start to the
That
day.
was so good. All right, Warriors 51 and a half. Man, this is a tough one.
51 and a half.
That seems low.
I'm going over.
That seems low to me.
Man, I went under. I'm
oh,
only got
explain
under.
that, Doc.
Health. I mean, you got guys in Steph Curry that are not healthy all the time. Draymond Green's getting up there. And then you got a bunch of young guys who I think are really good when they have their big brothers around. But, like, if you tell me Draymond has to miss a month, if you tell me Clay has to miss a month, and all of a sudden all those young pups are having to be elevated to now you don't have that, I just think it'll be a little tough. So, to me, I think the Warriors' upside is as good as ever. But I just wonder if their regular season will be a little more up and down, like very hot and cold.
Yeah, I can see it. But I'm going over.
Oh, I'm going easy over. They got Klay Thompson back at the end of the year last year. Then they won the championship. Now they're going to
did
go
that.
through. Now they have Wiseman, who's sat out and observed for a year. He's actually going to come in and be dominant for them.
Jermichael Green.
Jermichael Green.
I'll tell you on rewatch, Wiseman, part of the reason Denver scored 40 points in the third quarter. I mean, there was a lot of like him being in the wrong spot.
But I mean, like it's also against Denver. You tell Wiseman's going to dominate most teams he goes up against. You know, like I'm just telling you. That's what I think. Over. I
think Wiseman's going to be in the JaVale McGee role. He all he does is dunk the drop offs. I'm not saying
They
that's
won a
not-
title.
He looks
with JaVale
good
McGee
against
in front of the
DeAndre
Lakers,
Jordan.
Yeah.
Kuminga's interesting too. For them to have-
Kuminga's the one I think
He
is
did
really
look
good.
good
Moody
against
really
the
good
Lakers.
too.
Yeah.
Pelicans 44 and a half. 44 and a half.
Oh.
Easy one for me.
Yeah.
This is
too low
maybe
for them.
my favorite over. I don't want to get carried away and say that this team is going to win like 53, 54 games, although they're capable of it. But 44 and a half, I would not be surprised if the Pelicans were a top 4 seed. They are young enough and hungry enough to be good in the regular season.
Yeah.
That they're going to push for games in the regular season, and they just have a lot of depth. Players at all positions. I think Willie Green's a phenomenal coach. To me, this is maybe my single favorite over.
Yeah. They're the Memphis Grizzlies of this year, I think.
sure.
Did you see that video side by side Brandon Ingram and Kobe Bryant? Did you see that?
No.
I did see that.
Did you see that? How crazy was that?
Wind, are you trolling? I can never tell.
No, it was pretty
It
wild.
was a
Like they're
pretty
the same player?
They look very similar in the movements.
You were so young when Kobe was at his powers, man. I
well,
can't
there was
accept this.
footage. It was blended together.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
So
you
look
can
at-
do this for anybody. I could go to like Jose Alvarado and make this like, look, a fall away. Michael Jordan also
not
shot a
Jose.
fall
No,
away.
you
Did you
couldn't.
see what you're-
Go watch the video. Anyways,
Ingram
I'm
is
really
not
high.
Kobe. God damn
Of
it.
course he's not Kobe. Nobody's saying that. Go watch the video, though. Of course he's not Kobe Bryant.
Underrated subplot of this season is Wind Mara's beef. Keep an eye out on it at home.
Oh,
I can't wait.
I've never watched.
I
this
lied.
video.
I'm with you. The Pelicans gave the Suns all they could handle last year in the playoffs. They narrowly, the Suns narrowly got by them, and then they added Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be pretty good. He's like,
Yeah.
The thing that
CJ
Pelicans are,
McCollum was incredible.
they're the consensus pick to be good that everyone is going to
I
talk about
know.
like a hipster. You know who I think's going to be good this year? The Pelicans.
So are the Nuggets.
And yeah, that's true too.
Houston Rockets 23.5. You know, there was
Wow,
a thing.
didn't think we'd be talking about this
yeah,
one.
this is an Eric Weedham special.
23 and a that's so few wins.
I know. The
You've got to go
Wow.
over,
So
right?
So the one piece of analysis I'll give is that
Victor W.
W.
Yeah,
is-
that's where I was at with it.
I do think the Victor W part of all of this is so hard. I can't remember who it was that was talking about this the other day, that the lowest under teams almost always hit the over. They're like 70% over. And there's a psychology to all of this that I think is the exact one you're doing. The thing is, if you get to the final couple months of the season and you have a 4-game cushion on a top bad 4 pick, like you just start playing and you start winning again. So I think I could conceive of a scenario where the tank.
I'm not positive the Rockets could decide to win and then do it.
I think the Rockets have some interesting pieces. I think the
hate
Rockets-
that team
You hate
I
Jalen
love
Green.
know.
talking
You hate
about
Jalen
these.
Green so much.
so
man.
much.
You're
dude.
gonna learn to love him, I think.
Yeah, he's
There's
gonna be
no
good.
chance that happens.
Really?
No chance.
Dude, he's
hate
kinda-
I
it.
can
dope,
kind
man.
of see it happening.
I actually can too. I'm gonna say he's kind of got John Morant like springing. He's not John Morant, but he's just so like explosive and
Yeah.
stuff. And then he dunks. But then he's also so skilled.
I think
He
you
just has
might
bad
like
hair.
Jalen Green.
It's just hair.
You want my advice?
In 2 years.
Triple down.
Triple down.
Don't
on
ever
that,
change
man.
your mind.
Jalen Green is my Boston Celtics.
That's right.
Oh no! Really?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it really?
Yes.
What is it you don't like about him?
Don't like his hair.
I knew that was coming.
I think that's all it is.
No, I
that was
hate how he plays.
Well, you hate Colin Sexton more. Put that energy towards Colin Sexton. He's.
But I don't care. I actually don't mind how Colin Sexton plays.
You don't?
I don't love it, but like I hate how Jalen Green plays.
Really? You hate how Jalen Green plays? This is wild to me.
That was an interesting tidbit, though, on the because we put it so low on these teams. One of these teams is going to be better than we think.
I'll tell you which one it's going to be.
Oh.
The Memphis Grizzlies, 48.5.
48.
Going under.
Under! Memphis. We're all under on Memphis.
Dude,
Yeah,
are we
now-
some
now I'm
group
gonna
think
switch mine.
mofos
Yeah,
here?
we're so.
I've talked you guys
Now I'm
into
gonna
it.
switch
I've
mine.
talked you guys into it. You're going over. 48.5 is kind of low. I think they might go over.
It is a low. It is
a
a low.
really
Did the
low
Nuggets
number.
win 48 games last year?
You're right.
Well, the funny thing about this game is you want to go like relative to how you think about them versus but it's the win total, and that's a low. That's a low
True.
win total.
I will say they are one John Morant injury away from hitting the over. I mean, that's
Nice, dude.
That's the one thing that worries me about my under prediction.
Nice, that was good.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, there you go.
The Spurs 22.5. Dang it.
I mean, this is the one you got to go under.
Yeah, they might be my pick for like sneaky worst team in the league. And they're
Gonna
just gonna be
Yeah.
terrible.
Really bad on purpose, too. On purpose.
Like that party bus game could get out of control.
Oh, the Nuggets are losing that game. Particularly because
The Nuggets are 2 of their 21 wins. Damn it! All right,
If you lose to the Spurs this year, it's
Yeah,
it's
I
a
mean the Spurs.
national
The
embarrassment.
Spurs have done this before. We know what Greg Popovich is not afraid to throw an entire season away to get to the promised land. So
it would be a bookend for him. Oklahoma City Thunder 23.5. Ready?
the Oklahoma City.
I'm gonna go over.
I'm going way over.
You want to know something? I kind of like the Thunder.
Oh, damn it! You're taking my team.
am I?
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
that
I
your
just like
team?
Shea. I like Giddy.
I like some of their role guys too,
Yeah, they got some
like
guys.
Wiggins, Kenrich Williams. They got some good players.
Here's my take. I don't think the Thunder know if they're.
Usman Jang.
I don't
anyone?
think the Thunder know if they're going to tank
No?
yet or not. I don't think they know. And I have a feeling they're going to get to December 1st and just have too good of a record. And they're going to be like, we're the 7 seed? Like, what, or 8 seed? Like, we can't tank now?
Yeah.
The wrinkle in that is Chet getting hurt right away.
Yeah.
Does that make their decision for them?
He might have made them worse, though. Because
Initially,
by,
'cause-
just
yeah,
because you're
fair
playing a
enough.
guy that's like
Fair
a little
enough,
bit
yeah.
bad. So I think the Thunder are over. Jazz, 24.5. Guys,
Oh,
I'm only going under on some of these.
I
these
think
dungeons.
over. Yeah.
Why?
I don't think they're that bad.
They've
Ainge, man, I'm
their
telling you.
roster.
I was going to say.
No, their roster compared to what Oklahoma City's roster. Like the Jazz have a way better roster than the Thunder.
I agree with that.
Do they have a better will, though? Is the question. Like, everything they have done has been to make themselves worse. So I agree with you that they have a good roster, but of all the teams that I think to tank in November, like to not wait for January but for it to start right away, I think it's going to be them.
How do you tank in November if you have Colin Sexton, Lauri Markkanen,
First of
Malik
all,
Beasley?
Yeah, Colin Sexton, a bastion of wins in his career,
Bastion
coming
of
off of
trying
an
hard.
injury.
No,
Bastion
but
of
you
trying
can't
Yeah,
tell him
there's
to
a difference
tank.
between
I
trying
get
hard
that.
and winning.
Like Colin Sexton and those guys going up against the Thunder. Like I think the Jazz win that game. You know.
Man, you think Colin Sexton over Shea? Come on, Shea's going to murder him.
No, I mean
Mouse
like
in the house.
Markkanen, like all the guys the Jazz.
They do have like guys that I think are sneaky. All right,
I
so.
just don't trust OKC to approach this season with nobility.
Man, I think they're going to.
I don't trust it.
Sacramento Kings 33.5.
Yeah,
It's my other darling team.
Oh,
Sacramento.
33 is
we-
like nothing
That's
though.
low. That's low. Yeah.
Everybody's high on Sacramento, but
Yeah.
33 wins is nothing.
It's absolutely nothing.
They're also a team that's not going to tank out the gate, so they're going to
Yeah.
try and they'll
Oh, they're
bank
gonna try to
some
be
wins
good.
there.
They
And I
might
think they
be
might be
good.
good.
They
I think
might
they're
be
good.
good.
Dallas 48.5. Man, this one's kind of a really good line in my opinion.
That's like right where they're gonna finish.
That is right where
Over.
they're going to finish. I'm going to go under. I'm going to take the under. So you two are over. Just Luka, brilliant.
The Mavs have glitched the system. They just play not real basketball and just like rack up wins
Regular
Yeah,
season wins.
in the regular season.
And I think that there's like something about unlocking a level. They made it to a point. Now they're coming in with confidence. They like have their teams treat them differently. They carry themselves differently. There's just like there is momentum you can pick up from a good playoff run.
Counterpoint.
Don't have one. Well argued.
All right.
They did lose their second best player for nothing.
Phoenix Suns 52.5.
52.
I saw
and
a bold take
half.
today. It was from Michael Pina, and he said he predicts Chris Paul gets traded. That was one of his bold takes, and I was kind of like,
That's a great bold take.
I know. I was kind of like,
That's a
Did
delicious.
he get
bold
traded
take.
to like a front office?
what if he gets
tired,
traded
man.
to the Lakers?
He gets traded to the Thunder.
The Thunder would be hilarious. I'm going under with them, man. Look, is there a chance that they're just really good again? Absolutely, but I just feel like they are the most volatile October-November team in the NBA.
Yeah.
They have a little 3-game losing streak in November.
It could unravel.
It could unravel, man.
The way I view them, though, I think they're still set up to win a boatload of games. I just think if you're on that roster and you win 60 games, are you any more confident?
Their top shelf is still really
It's
high,
still-
and it can look really dumb. They
Right.
get 59 wins, and
right.
it's like, all
but
right.
the questions, even for them, about themselves are not answered in the playoffs, and they know that.
Yeah.
But regular season,
Yeah. Blazers 39.5. Another under for me, man. I'm like high on the tanking teams and low on these fringe teams.
33 and a
Yeah.
half?
33.5. Where do you go, Eric? Over?
33 and a half?
Yeah, that's so low.
That seems a little
It's
low.
really
That's
low.
so
Oh,
low.
I thought you said-
Blazers 39.5. I said 39.
Yeah, you said 39.
39.
Yeah,
I'm
39.
still going over.
I think they
40
won.
win- yeah.
I think they won 40.
40
don't
is
think they're
not
good.
that many, and they still have Dame Lillard. He didn't play most of last year.
Dame Lillard?
I just put together the trade.
Uh-oh.
Oh, get the
Oh,
F out
I
of
thought
here.
we were talking
For
about
your Chris Paul trade?
how overrated Dame Lillard is.
What if we get a Chris Paul Dame Lillard trade?
Chris
I don't
Paul
want,
for
dude,
Dame
I don't want
Lillard?
Dame Lillard to go to the Suns. That'd be terrible.
Look, the
Why would
Nuggets-
they trade for Chris Paul?
They-
Nuggets will score on him every time, though. Come on.
That's true.
That trade makes the Suns worse, right?
I really can't. I mean, Facu scored on him in a playoff series.
You're buying. I just think the Blazers have disaster potential. And I don't
They
know. If they
totally
do you want to know?
have disaster
look at Dame
potential.
Lillard's numbers in the preseason. Have you
Scary.
looked at them?
And
Not
he,
good.
in a bad way.
Dame Lillard,
Not like scary
Damian
hours,
Lillard
like
might be the
scary
Russell Wilson
shit.
of the NBA.
How's that?
He might be not good, and there was an injury year, and everyone's like, "Well, don't count that." And it's like, no, he's
has
now
he
that.
he's been shooting poorly?
Yeah, oh yeah, he just hasn't scored. Like he hasn't been playing. Yeah, his numbers are low his per minute numbers and his efficiency.
Is he
are bad.
is he Jokicing it?
It's the preseason guy. No. He's trying to come back
He's
from
trying.
injury.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm just saying I would not be surprised if Lillard was like, why is he only averaging
Do you
21
think that
a
this
game?
is the year he finally plays defense?
No, definitely not.
No, but they
Or finally gets
they have some
traded.
pieces. They have some pieces there.
Without
I mean, like,
asking for one.
I think they're a 500-ish team.
they
closer to that.
I mean they've got some. They're not
Well,
great, but like 40 wins.
I mean,
is
they've got
very,
Jeremy Grant and Yusuf Nurkic, known competitors through thick and thin.
I mean, you're asking me if they're going to go to the playoffs.
they have a coach that
No
was like a
question.
disaster in his first year, but we all love him, so
Hey,
we're assuming
easy.
he's not going to be bad again.
I don't know. 40 wins is not very many wins in the NBA.
I like.
But here's the real
It's,
take.
like,
Here's
under
what you're betting
500.
under. No, but here's what you're betting on. You're right. if they try the entire season, you're right. The question is, what if they have a bad November? Is it
Right.
possible they're just not that good and it takes a lot for them to win and they're not ready out the gate and all of a sudden they're
Gary
eight,
Payton's
they're
missing
eight-
the start of the
Or
season.
if they're 8-12, does Portland's management look at that and go, guys, this is going to be a hard year. We're already behind the 8 ball. Is there anything out there?
They just handed out some money.
It's
though,
just
right?
that they're
Extended some
not
guys.
bad enough to tank, and
You move
you,
you
the
make a
10th,
move.
but you can get to the playoff as the 10th seed.
Are they pushing for that though with that roster?
Wait, Damian Lillard's still on the
I don't
roster?
think that they are in full rebuild mode, but I don't think that they view themselves as they like view themselves as like, all right, we kind of got to get our footing again. We lost Dame last year. We got Jeremy Grant. We got Yusuf Nurkic back.
Remember
We
how
got-
LeBron tanked at the end of the year and it was just like, I don't care about this.
I don't think there's a chance in hell Dame signs off on a tank.
It's not that he signs off. I'm saying if you get to January and the team is just like the 9 seed, the 10 seed, they're a no hope or contender. Like, oh, maybe they'll climb to the 7 seed, but that's a no hope that they're a contender. Do they sit down with Dame and say, look, man, it makes sense for us to trade, Jeremy Grant and Nurkic and this or that and try for next year? And he's like, dude, I'm not doing this 2 years in a row. I just see it.
Yeah.
I just see it. To me, and then they trade him and tank, and they don't win another game from February till April. Clippers, 52.5.
Someone's got to win a
Big
boatload
big
of
market
games.
Adam over here.
I'm gonna go under.
I think that's a good take. 52.5
Marshall
is a lot.
Carroll's
It's a
yelling
lot,
under, too.
and Kawhi's not going to play a ton of games this
Okay.
year, I don't think. Paul George still. I think the Clippers could win the championship, but they might be the 5 seed.
It's a hard
I just
route.
think they're so deep and they're so well coached, and they were competitive with less talent last year without those guys. So but I get that perspective. But
All right, last one, guys. The Denver Nuggets, 50.5.
this is actually, I've never locked something more in my life.
You can lock the Nuggets over every year,
That's true. Knock on wood for this
It's
one,
kinda
because we
true.
all know why.
regardless of what it is.
To me, they are up there. There's the teams that I feel like are the most locks for me are the ones I feel the most confident hitting their over: Pelicans, Thunder, and Nuggets. Those are the teams I like. So
Kings.
I don't know. I feel like Denver. I feel good about 50.5, and apparently so does everyone else on Earth.
It's
'cause
too low,
everyone's
man.
taking
They
them.
won 48 games last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they won 48 games last year.
last year.
Think about the roster and all the differences. There's
Well, they got to
Yeah,
get
like is MPJ and Jamal Murray worth 4 wins?
probably.
probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Before we get out of here, you can start that outro music, Kale. Before we get out of here, so who's watching the games tonight? Oh, we do have super chats coming in. Let me read
I'm
them. Oh,
probably
J
not
Rock,
watching.
the homie, he says Nuggets are parading championship #1 this year. Hell yeah! I love that people are feeling it, man.
yeah.
Reverse devil. Time to be confident, but not.
But
smug.
don't.
But not
Let
say
go of
it.
hell.
Okay.
Okay,
Not smug.
okay,
That's
okay.
just a word in the English language.
Okay.
Let go of hell.
All right.
Let go of hell. Big.
That's a good question.
Somebody says, will Ivaka have the doc for rent to non-subscribers? No, they will not. But guys, like
It's
I
not
said,
for rent. It'll be for free after a while.
it'll be for free in 4 weeks after it premieres on Ivaka. I mean, I know some people have been upset. Hey, I'm a subscriber or DNVR member, this or that. Trip wouldn't have happened without Ivaka. They sponsored it, they funded it, and the reason they did that was for this to get first rights at it. And by the way, they've been a great partner for us, not just through that, for other things. So this partnership is us telling people, hey, they allowed us to do a really cool thing, stretch our wings into new territories that we'd never done. And by the way, nobody is doing. Some of the
Right.
stuff that we're doing, I'm looking around going like, I'm glad it's us because I want it to be us. But there's some of this that I'm going, we're not splitting the atom. We're trying to tell you guys stories about your favorite teams and players, which is what journalism is.
And Ivaka sees that.
And
they
Ivaka,
understand,
exactly. And they
so.
see it and they're like, we'll fund it. Tell that story and people will end up,
Yeah.
when they try to choose between Fubu and...
Right. Can you say that again?
Fubo.
That made me
Fubo
uncomfortable.
TV.
What do you guys think about all these different ones you go to? Ivaka's like, we
Dev's not
want it to
here
be
for
us.
He even
so.
said it weird. Fubu. I don't like that at all.
76ers Celtics. We watching that one tonight, fellas? What do we
Nah,
got?
No.
that's a pass for me.
No.
You guys are wild.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it.
Basketball's been gone this... I'm the
Playoff
only one here that likes
baseball.
basketball.
I don't watch these.
Lakers Warriors watching that one too.
Yeah, I'll
I
probably
can't
tune
Of
in
wait.
course,
for
I'm
that one.
watching that one.
Tonight I'm taking 76ers and I'm taking Warriors. You parlay that one, you probably make some money. That's my picks. Guys, this is the last day of purgatory. The last
Yes!
day of purgatory tomorrow. We made it! Jamal Murray returns. Michael Porter Jr. returns. The Denver Nuggets return. We'll see you guys for a pregame show. Come down to the bar and join us. We'll see you tomorrow.